It's a delivery for you, isn't it, buddy? Hey everyone, it's Exo-Man. I want you to take a look at this before I begin this talk. This is what I want to talk about. You see, this is a delivery brought by FedEx, and you see the placement of that. Okay, now that's a couple of paces from the shelter of my door, you know, up near my house. Now, I built this. In fact, I renovated this space down here, and I put this cover on here. Did this all myself. That was a garage door. In order to have shelter, primarily for packages, you know, to have some protection from the sun and some shelter for the packages, but for deliveries. But this may be minutia to some people, what I'm about to talk about, but to me and to many of you, at the conclusion of this, it will be meaningful. To me, it speaks volumes about purposeful living, about responsibility, about making choices, meaningful choices, being conscious, and, aware of what you're doing. Okay, so I'm out here today, this morning, in my bare feet. I heard a loud thud, and I ran out to see what it was, and it was a delivery. The guy just basically dropped those packages right there on the edge of the deck. Now, what this video is not about complaining. It's about actually proposing a solution. And the problem is thoughtlessness. And it brings up the big picture of all of our lives, and what we do and how we live them. And I know that this will be, as I said, minutiae and completely meaningless to a lot of people out there who just truly don't care. They don't care. And I've become increasingly aware that there are a lot of people that are just living inert lives. They're just not doing anything with their lives, and they're content to sit and watch TV and game and be disengaged from life and, from ambition and seizing the day, seizing the moment, and going for everything that they can in their lives, enriching themselves, etc., etc. A lot of people don't care about that. So I narrow my focus to the audience of those of you who do care. You sort of care. You think you might care. Maybe you want to try to care. Well, this message is for you. It starts small, like that. You get to a point in your life. I came to it early in my life. It may have been necessity. I started working when I was 14. Working, actually, for food and rent and bills, not for a car or something like that, but actually to pay bills. And I just remember being 15, 16 years old and working in a Waffle House and being trained. And it sparked something in me. I worked with men 2 or 3 times my age who explained how to do things. And, these were simple people, but they got me thinking that, you can always do this better. You can always do this faster. You can always be stronger. You can be a better employee. And that meant something to me. I wanted to be better, faster, stronger, smarter. So I became thoughtful. I would think things through. Now, this doesn't mean I didn't make mistakes. I made a series of mistakes that, have lasted my whole life. We all make mistakes. But the difference is there are some of us who have this longing, this yearning to be better. And for what? I don't know. Just to be decent people. Just to fulfill our destiny as human beings of being the best that we can be. Now, I'm not suggesting that you develop a neurosis over this. I'm just saying that you wake in the morning some time and you start there. You start saying to yourself every morning, I'm going to be more thoughtful today. I'm going to strive to do things with a purpose. And in so doing, maybe things will occur to me that didn't occur to me the day before about how I can redirect my life so that there is more definition and more meaning, and that I'm doing the right things and making the right choices and not as prone to making mistakes or being as thoughtless and potentially hurting people or aggravating people, and on and on. So yes, here I was this morning explaining yet again to a grown man that when you place my packages, obviously I'm, to some of these people like that, for example, a delivery person, I admire delivery people. They work hard. As a rule, they're a bunch of good people that are just trying to make a living and trying to get things done. But I'm standing there fussing with a grown man, explaining, look, in the summertime, you guys leave candles. If I've ordered some candles, sitting there in the hot sun when it's 97 degrees outside, wine in the hot sun, food, clothes, anything I've ordered sitting in potentially in the rain or the hot sun, when you could take 2 more steps and place those things more securely against my house and with more cover and more protection. It's thoughtlessness. These guys aren't trying to be bad or mean or malicious or wrong. They're just not being thoughtful. We are just not being thoughtful sometimes. So with each thing we do, with each task we set out to accomplish, if we just got into the habit of saying, what is the most thoughtful way to do this? What is the best way to do this? What is the most efficient way to do this? Any or all of those thoughts. If we could just have those, one or all of those thoughts trigger before each task, not even tasks, labors of love sometimes. When you're with your spouse, when you're with your friends, when you're sharing intimacy, whatever you're doing, how can I do this better? If that precedes the act, you become a better person, and the people around you become more satisfied being around you. You see what I mean? It's very simple. It's just a very simple way of life. Give your life purpose. Focus. Be thoughtful, okay, in everything you do, and things will occur to you. If that young man, when he was delivering those packages, had thought, what's the best way to do this? If this were me receiving these packages, and would I want them right there in the sun and rain, or would I want them tucked up against my house? What would I want out of this situation? What would make me the most satisfied? And it really wouldn't be any extra work to walk another 2 steps and set those packages again by the house. But this is just an illustration. This is just an example. Everything we do, for every action there's a reaction. You're always affecting something or someone with your actions. So anyway, that is what I wanted to talk about today. How thoughtful are you going to be? How thoughtful are you? Okay, so change your life today for the better with the simple practice of being aware. All right, being awake. Go engage. Thanks for watching, everyone.